Welcome back, everyone. This is Jarenitis bringing you, well, it's Crash Landing, technically speaking. I decided that I needed to do a final thoughts video, a basic overview, a tour of our Crash Landing setup. First thing I'd like to do is say thank you to, I think his name is pronounced Iskandar. He is the maker of the map. And the mod pack. I think he did an amazingly good job. Um, it was a bit on the short side. More quests can be added, but I'm sure that is a known fact, and I'm sure that there will be stuff added in the future. For what this thing has, and for what it provided, it was amazingly fun, and I look forward to seeing the next version of it with the updated, better stuff, and I'm sure there'll be more quests. But I wanted to say that I don't feel that I gave enough credit to Iskandar, the maker of the map, and I wanted to make sure that I gave a specific shout out and thanks to him for giving us something amazingly fun to play with. On the same level, I want to talk about how things went. Okay, 16 episodes is a little bit short, realistically, for the series to have run. This is technically 17 episodes now, if you count this as an episode. I don't really count it, but it's a final thoughts thing. So, by the way, I'm running around letting people see my base and see, well, not my base, but our base, and see how things were done while I'm doing this. So, if you want to look at the way things are set up, then this is how you can do it. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. So, 16 episodes is kind of abysmally short considering the magnitude of this map. I did just say that it was a little bit on the short side, and it is, but to take a map that was already a little bit on the short side and play it with 4 players, shortening it even further. Because with 4 players, first off, it started out really difficult keeping everyone fed and getting the water to keep everyone from dying of thirst. But once you got past that initial surge, it got to be where so many people, just so much stuff was constantly happening, and there's a lot of people who are available to do a lot of different things, and that made it so that the map basically progressed incredibly fast. My wife Rain built this amazing garden, got all the different foods, and she made us so much food, there's no way we could possibly go hungry. But to do this kind of thing, to have a garden this size when playing it single player, or even doing it with 2 players, single player would be extremely difficult. 2 players would have been a bit easier, but with 4 players, it was disgustingly easy to once you got past the initial grinding point. So I feel that we had a lot of fun, and it was a good map, and I think that that the potential for this map is immense, and that a lot of people could play this map and have a lot of fun with it. That being said, mistakes were made. It's obvious. If you watched the series, if you watched the 16 episodes, you know that mistakes were made. There were gaps in between segments, in between episodes, where an ungodly large amount of stuff happened that should have been part of a recording. Setting up the automation of water, that wasn't recorded. The automation of the filling of the camel packs, where we had the barrels here, and how that worked, that should have been recorded. There's a lot of things. Realistically, this should have run, even with 4 people, this should have run 20, 25 episodes without any trouble. So, being 4 players, that is one thing. We did too much stuff off camera. I mean, we realized that the bottom line there is that we didn't organize very well. We didn't plan it out specifically. So people were of the 4 of us, me, Max, and Elroy, were getting on when no one was around and just doing stuff on the server and playing around, and that's realistically shouldn't have happened, because that, like all the resources, like one episode we had barely anything, and the next episode we had resources, so many resources that we'd never run out. Um, and that all happened between episodes, and that was because Elroy had gotten sick, and well, he went to Comic-Con and got sick, and we just kept playing on the server while he wasn't around, and continuously gaining more things, and that shouldn't have happened. That kind of took away from things. Um, a lot of other stuff was done off camera that shouldn't have been done, and just generally speaking, we weren't very well organized overall in the way that we accomplished this. So to be fair, this is the first time I've played a map like this. I didn't play any Agrarian Skies. I know that was a very popular one. I didn't play any Agrarian Skies or anything else of that nature. So this is the first time playing a hardcore questing map. So I'm a noob in that respect. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I should and shouldn't do. So a basic lack of organizational skill there. It's funny I'm talking about a lack of organizational skills while I'm harvesting my wife's garden, which is so organized it's ridiculous. So yeah, it's kind of a bit of irony there. But yeah, so I feel that what we showed in the season, in the series, it kind of sells the map short just a little bit. You don't really get to see the full grandeur that this map has to offer, and I feel kind of bad about that. Thus prompting this final thoughts video. Anyway, I was saying something and now I forgot what I was saying. But basically, yeah, so yeah, too much stuff was done off camera. Too much stuff was done without other players present. On a multiplayer map of this nature, you should probably not do very much of anything without the other players present. It's actually 2 or 3 different times we actually came incredibly close to losing the map, while first off not everyone was even online, and while we weren't recording. So to have lost the map, and we also didn't have a backup either. So that happened several times, and that would have been incredibly stupid. And the fact is that happened several times, and we actually didn't learn from it. We just kept doing it. It's a miracle that this actually worked out as good as it did. And considering how badly it worked out, to say it worked out as good as it did is actually kind of a funny side thought. So let's see. The other thing, I personally made a huge mistake, and that was, people may not know this, but if you watch my YouTube channel, pay attention, you'll see that I have, along the same line as I'm doing my multiplayer playthrough of Crash Landing, I had a single player live streaming of Crash Landing. I had never live streamed before, and I just got it started into streaming, and then we started playing this, and it's like, well, I want to play this. I want to play this so bad I can taste it, and I decided that I would do a single player playthrough of the map while we were doing the multiplayer playthrough of the map, and that in and of itself was a horrendous mistake. If you're gonna do YouTube of it, that's fine, but don't play it as well on the side. Realistically, my live stream does show the mod pack more for what it was intended as, because I played it as a single player, but at the same time, it greatly influenced the way that the multiplayer went. So I feel that was a fairly significant mistake. I really shouldn't have done that. Now, I have learned from that mistake. Any future thing that we're going to do as a group, and we are planning to do something new as a group, it'll actually probably have the first episode pop up within a couple of days of when this one does, within a week at the most, if things go well. But whatever we're going to do as a group, I will not go anywhere near as a single player, just because I really feel that it affected the way that that this experience played out. So, yeah, that was a mistake, and I kind of feel bad that the series suffered for it. But this is my first time playing a multiplayer hardcore questing. I got into streaming at the same exact time as that. So yes, it was a mistake, but I feel that it was I don't want to say a necessary mistake, but a mistake that helped me to learn how to do this better. So I think that pretty much puts things where I wanted to put them. I'm going to go down the dust mine right here. I don't know if I ever actually showed this very well on the series, but basically we laid cobblestone over the surface, and then we dug the stairway down that you saw, and then we just basically used this to mine infinite amounts of dust. This was Max's pet project. He actually intended to mine dust until he ran out of dust to mine in a straight line. So it was kind of crazy of him, but when you have this much dust available and it's so easy to come by, it's just one of those things you're going to do. So you just literally stand here and chop dust because there's no reason not to, and it just keeps falling into place. It's an amazing way to do it. So for those of you who were upset by the way that the series ended, to be honest with you, I'm upset with the way it ended too. I really feel that it could have done and should have done better than it did. It should have been represented better, and I apologize for that. But I've learned from it, and I should hopefully be able to take that learned knowledge and do better for you guys next time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Leave in the comments if for the 6 people who watch this. Leave me in the comments what you think. Overall, I really want some feedback on this, and I realize that asking for feedback is a difficult thing because realistically, not a lot of people watch these things. But for the people who do watch right now, I really would like some feedback because it'll help me to produce better content in the future. So let me know what you think. Did I do horrible? Did I do good? When the game glitched me out, should we have loaded the backup save where we were back a good long ways and continued in that respect? Now that being said, we were planning on ending the series by episode 16 or 17 anyway, because like I said, we were finishing up all the quests. Let me know what you think overall. I actually would like to know. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing what kind of thoughts and comments you might have. So until next time. Help spread the gaming.